8:01.
Okay, it is recording.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our training call tonight. I am Shannon McComber, Emerald Ambassador, and tonight we have with us Jana Garcia, Diamond-Gold Ambassador, and we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to ask her a bunch of questions. She was not given these questions before it started, so she's just going to be answering off the fly.
I'm scared.
You should be scared. No.
I am.
We like to have fun. It's not a roast, even though that would be fun if we did a roast sometime.
It'd be fun.
Plexus roast.
You would be really good at that.
I could do a Plexus roast.
Yeah,
we'd have to get some people who aren't very sensitive, though.
True. Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it is. That's how a roast works.
Right.
But anyways, so we're going to start with having Jana talk about a little bit about her journey, how she started, why she started, and a little bit about that and how you went from rank to rank. You know, like when you were silver and then you went gold, of course, you know, how long it was in between those, and, you know, and even when you were at those particular ranks, you know, how did you feel at those ranks? You know, did you feel a lot of pressure to work harder? Did you feel like it was, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of how you were emotionally moving up, because you moved so fast going up through the ranks. So not everybody goes that fast. Like myself, I didn't go that fast. But anyways, just explain a little bit about your journey, how you got started, and then how you progressed going through the ranks to Diamond.
Okay. Well, first of all, I have a very bad memory, so if I can remember most of it, that would be really good. But so April 2013 was when I saw Lisa McKeever's post on her Facebook wall about Plexus. And I knew Lisa through our Guatemala adoption connection. We knew each other from the Guatemala Facebook group, and we were both members of, and we had chatted behind the scenes from that group. So I knew that Lisa was with another weight loss company, so it caught my eye when she said something about Plexus, because I hadn't seen her post in a while about her other company. So I private messaged her and asked her what's up with that. Mm-hmm. And she basically said that she wanted to go to a company that was all natural. She was doing a meal replacement shakes, and she had lost quite a bit of weight on that. But she really wanted to go all natural with her products, and so she had customers obviously that were buying from her. So she knew she wanted to stay in weight loss as her company, and you know, she did her company as a business. That was her business. So she went out and researched Plexus. She has a really unusual story, because most of us, we know somebody else and we wanted to try the products.
Right.
But with Lisa, she actually went out and researched and found Plexus herself. Found somebody to sign up under, which I don't think she knew her sponsor very well either. And so so I just asked her, what's Plexus? And she told me it was a weight loss health company, and I wanted to try it. So she sent me to her website, and I bought a 3-day trial pack, because Lisa's not local to me. She lives in New Jersey, and at the time I lived in Oklahoma. So I went and bought the 3-day trial pack. I tried it, and I really loved it a lot. And I knew that I would want to be on these products for a while. And I also knew that my husband, Rod, would want to try the products too. And he had had a weight problem our whole entire marriage, and really was looking for something for him, because he tried everything and nothing worked. So I also, you know, in my story, I have 3 sisters that we always do everything together. And so I knew that they would want to try the products as well. So I just basically asked Lisa.
You know what all sisters do? Sisters are like, oh, well, if you're going on a weight loss, I'm going on weight loss too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we talk all the time. And so I knew when they found out I was doing something, they'd be like, well, where's mine?
Right.
So I asked Lisa, I said, would it be less expensive for me to go and sign up rather than being a customer? And she said, sure, you know, go ahead. And so being that I'm very frugal, I went and signed up as a distributor, knowing that I could get my products at wholesale. And, at the time I was a stay-at-home mom. I'd been at home for 18 years and I didn't have any desire to go out and, get a job or anything. I liked being home with my kids. And, but I would have also liked a way to make extra money. And probably if Lisa had told me that was going to be in the cards, I probably would have said, no, I can't sell anything. I'm not bold. I'm not, outgoing at all. I like to stay home. I don't want to go knocking on people's doors. I'm not going to have parties. And but she didn't say anything like that.
That sounds familiar. It seems like the same thing I told you. I'm not doing parties.
Exactly. You didn't want to talk to me on the phone.
I know. I avoided Jana like the plague. No, I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I'll message you on Facebook or email you, but I will not talk to you on the phone.
Right. Crazy.
And now we talk hours a week on the phone.
Almost every day.
Every day.
So Shannon's very antisocial, if you didn't know that about her. She comes across as being outgoing and all bubbly and everything, but she's very private. You'd be very, very shocked to know how private Shannon really is.
That's a true story.
Story. And so anyway, I went ahead and signed up and got my products in the mail. I got 10 of the 3-day trial packs, and I gave, I think my sisters took about 6 of those. And the rest of them, I just, told a couple of my really close friends about, and they either, at that point, they liked it so much they either wanted to sign up as a customer or they wanted to sign up as an ambassador. So at the time, like my sisters, they signed up. They never were customers. They just decided to sign up because they wanted the discount too. And so at that point, really money was not in the cards for me. I just wanted to get the products at a discount and be able to, have them, other people be able to buy them too.
So you basically went silver real fast because you have 3 sisters.
Yeah, I went silver within the first few weeks just because my sisters wanted to buy it at wholesale too.
Nice.
And at that point, I'm sure I knew I was going to get the $100 bonus, and that was all good. So, in the first few weeks, me and Rod both started losing weight and feeling better. And so after the first few people bought from me, it was all in that first 10 3-day trial pack, though, that I really kind of understood that there was something there. There was something there. And I knew at that point, because I didn't have to buy inventory from Lisa, I knew that I went to her website. I knew that wasn't something you had to do.
Right.
And so I was like, well, this is kind of cool. Maybe I can, just at least get my products for discount, or at least maybe get my products for free at that point. And so after that first 10-day trial pack, 10 3-day trial packs were gone, I decided to get another set of 10 3 days. And I kept doing that over and over again until I think by the second month I had ordered like 80 of the trial packs.
Yeah.
And that was just with local people. And, keep in mind that I don't leave my house that much. So these were people that just saw my post on Facebook and said, can you bring me a 3-day trial pack to church? Can you bring that to school when you drop off the kids? Or somebody at Rod's job said, can you bring me a 3-day trial pack? But I also had people ordering from my website. So anyway, over the course of that next few months, it just turned into, I had a really high customer base. And it took me several months to go from when I signed up to go gold. I believe I went gold in July, signed up in April. And then after that was when I think, you asked about the defining moment on the Jewels group today. I don't know that I had one defining moment. It was because it happened so fast. It was like, every time I would get a promotion, it would be just like, oh, this is going to be a really good part-time income.
Right.
And after I turned senior gold, it was like, oh, this is going to be a really good full-time income.
Right.
And it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And I will say that Rod was not supportive at all in the beginning. He was not. He loved the products, but he didn't think that anything like this could be done online.
Right.
And he didn't think that you could do anything like this from home. And, because everybody knows that most things are scams, that when they say work from home, make $1 million, nobody believes that. So, but I could see, during that summer that it was something that I could do. I could see that it was going to take a lot of relationship building, and So I started private messaging my friends and people that were my customers first, mostly. Yeah, Shannon was one of them.
She messaged me.
Yeah, and we weren't even that good of friends at the time. It was more just that I knew you because I met you through Candy.
Right. And we only met face to face one time.
Yeah.
One time?
Yeah. And I probably added you to my customer group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably how you became a customer first.
Yeah. And how dare you add me to a customer group?
Right. Now you're in what, probably 1,000 of them?
Right. 635.
Yeah, I think I'm in about 1,300.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, over that course of that summer, it just spiraled, into a full-time career. I believe that I went senior gold in August. I went ruby in September, senior ruby in October, and emerald in November.
Didn't you hit senior ruby while you were at Leaders Retreat in the fall? Is that when you hit?
It was in October, so yes, I was senior ruby, and then I hit emerald in November.
That's amazing. Crazy.
Yeah. And so, it did go really fast, and I did not anticipate that. I wasn't until I got to Ruby, I really wasn't on a quest for Diamond. I just was, I knew that it was more about getting people signed up and getting people on their own journey.
Right.
And it was like one step at a time, one person at a time. And I'm not a person that goes out and just can call somebody that I don't know very well. So I would private message people that were already customers unless I knew them well enough. If it was somebody that I knew really well, like my friend Kelly Farrington, we had known each other for, years and years, and she was a customer. So I just basically called her and said, hey, you got to do this with me because this is going to be true.
Right.
And but with people like you who I was just contacting to check on you as a customer, I would throw in things like, you could actually pay for your own products if you signed up and got 3 customers.
Right.
And I just did little things like that. But in August, when I was going from gold to senior gold, and a lot of people were signing up at the same time, and I had a lot of level 1s and a lot of level 2s and a lot of level 3s at that point. And they all needed to be trained. So that's when we created the Training 101 group, so that everyone could have the same training, and so that it would be easier for everyone. And everybody has their strengths. Everybody brings to the table their different things that they can do. Mine so happened to be at the time that I was good at telling people how to do what I did. So I created that training group so that I could get everyone the same information at the same time. And I, brainstormed that and tried to figure out how could we do this without scaring people off. Yeah, because it's another group, and a lot of people may not want to be in another group, and but it's totally worked out. It's been really great for my business and for my leaders' businesses, and it continues to grow. And it was just almost like an experiment at the time, and I thought, if it doesn't work, then we'll go try something else.
Right.
But at the time, we needed some training. We needed a one place to go to get the training. Not sure when I started the weekly calls, but it might have been after I turned emerald or right around senior ruby, maybe.
I want to say it was in November when you hit emerald. I think we started it in November of that year.
Right. And those really helped a lot. We did the weekly calls and we recorded them, and a lot of people learned a lot of stuff from those calls. We had lots of good leaders on that we interviewed and stuff like that. But health-wise, I feel like my life has completely changed from the products. I no longer have migraines. I no longer have kidney stones. I've lost 20 pounds. Rod's lost 45 pounds. And, we feel a lot better. There's so many things that the Plexus has done for our health. And you just want to share that with other people. When something's done that for you, you want to share it with other people. So, and then after November, when I hit emerald, there was a few months between there, and I hit sapphire in January. And then I hit Diamond in February. So that was last February. And I didn't re-enter on my second Diamond until September of 2014.
But, you know, we need to bring up when you were going for Diamond, I actually offered myself up as a sacrifice for you to go Diamond. And there's probably a lot of people on my team who don't even know that story. When Jana was Sapphire going for Diamond, I made a video, and we announced it on a call or something. And I said that if she went Diamond was it January? Right?
February.
In February, that I would do a polar plunge in my pool. And I held true to my word. She hit Diamond, and I did a polar plunge in my pool. And my pool was 38 degrees, I think, when I jumped in it. It was cold, bitterly cold, but it was a lot of fun. So you could probably find that in the Rockin' group because it was posted in that group.
You should find that and post that in your group.
I should. I'm going to have to find that and post it in my group so people can see what I did to get everybody on board to get you to Diamond, because you were so close. I mean, it was really close for you hitting it. And so I was like, okay, well, we got to do something big. So that's what I did. I offered up, if everybody got active and got involved, that I would polar plunge. And she did. And so I polar plunged. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I like to have fun. And
that's a true friend right there.
That is true friend. Got you. I got you.
I got you.
I got you. I got you. You know, in talking about all of that, you know, because you went through the process so fast and grew so fast, because I'm a big advocate for, if you want to do something, if you want to reach your goals, you have to have a certain work ethic to get to that point. You know, you can't expect to get somewhere if you're not going to put in the work to do it. You know, if you're only putting in, you know, a half hour a day or something like that, then that's where you're going to be. You're not going to get a lot of fruit out of that. So I was just curious if you can talk about, you know, the work ethic that it took you to get to Diamond, and did you have to really stay disciplined in, like you talked about, creating the training group and doing the phone calls? That takes a little bit of commitment to get to that point, because if you hadn't committed to do those things, it's possible that your group could have stalled, or, you know, people would have stopped adding. You just don't know. So can you talk a little bit about having, what kind of work ethic does it take to get to that point? You know, we're all on different journeys, of course, but you had your mindset at, you know, to getting to Diamond. So can you talk a little bit about what kind of work ethic and discipline did it take for you to get there?
Yeah, you know, now that you say that, it probably, when I was at the leaders retreat in Florida, 2013, and I turned Senior Ruby there, and we heard Eric Warre speak, and, you know, he really talked a lot about, you know, when network marketing, how, you know, and he's not with Plexus, so obviously, you know, you read his book and you have to kind of apply it to our Plexus culture,
right.
Which is different, but he offers a lot of really good tips and different things that,
right.
You know, he talked a lot about network marketing and how it can change your life, and how you really have to go fast. You really have to put everything in for a little while. And,
right.
And he talks a lot about how you can go all in for a certain amount of time, and you know, you give yourself that amount of time, however long that you want to do it. And, you know, you can change that anytime. If it's
right.
too much, you can shorten it. If it's, you know, if you're on a roll and you want to make it longer. But he
right.
challenged us at that leaders retreat to go all in for 90 days. And you know, I had at that point already been pretty much all in, and I even, you know, I don't know if I told you or other people, I was like, you know, I feel like I'm already doing, you know, everything. But when I came home and I read his book, you know, several times I read his book, and I started thinking, you know, I can do more. I can do more income producing activities rather than Rabbit chasing is what I call it. You know, when you're on Facebook and you know, so and so had a baby and let's go see this and let's go see that.
Right.
You know, waste a lot of time. And so if you can focus on income producing activities, you can make what time you do have go a lot further in you know, in your work. And so at that point, you know, I probably felt like I was all in, but I went home and realized that I could do more.
Right.
And so, you know, there's a lot of sacrifices that you make. And like Shannon said, not everybody wants to go as fast as I did. You know, some people will say that they don't have that kind of drive to go that fast, or that that's not, you know, they can't fit that into their life right now.
Right. And that's fine.
And that's fine, you know, and that's why nobody should compare journeys, because everyone has their different whys. Everyone has their own situations. With my situation, my kids were all in school all day.
Right.
So I had, my husband is, you know, he helps me a lot. I said he wasn't supportive at the beginning, but once he saw those, you know, starting about senior gold checks coming in,
once he started seeing those paychecks coming in the bank, he was like, hey girl, keep working.
Yeah. Yeah, he would tell me, don't think you should be on Facebook. And, you know, you want your husband to say that, right?
Right.
So, you know, at Leaders Retreat was when he decided to join the team as well. And, you know, and so that was really good but I had a lot of support from my husband. He helps me a lot. And at that point, he was helping me a whole lot, because he knew at that point that I was trying to rank as fast as I could.
Right. Yeah.
And so, you know, my situation is different. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has that kind of time. But if you will take the time that you do have and work it to your fullest potential, and duplicate people and get involved as you can. You know, education, when you can read books and you can watch videos, and when you can be on calls like this, going to meetings, going to events, anything that you can do that's going to put you around other motivated Plexus ambassadors is what really will drive your business.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I cannot stress that enough, that that's really, you know, what did it for me, is going to retreat and being on calls. Even the calls that I did, they really motivated me as well, because I would have guest speakers on, and I would have people on that came on and said things that I didn't know.
Right.
So all the calls are good. You know, I always tell people, you know, you may hear the same thing on a call that you heard last week, or you may go to a opportunity meeting that you heard the same thing, that you know, you may know the comp plan up and down, you may know the products back and forth, but the more you hear it, the better you are going to be able to explain it yourself.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm all in with Plexus. So for me, I'm still in education mode. So I don't feel like I know it all. And I feel like that there's always more to learn. You can always learn from other people. If there's an opportunity meeting that's an hour from me that Helen McFadden's doing, or Sonia Dudley, or somebody, you know, somebody's coming to town to do an opportunity meeting, I'm there, because it may be something that I've done myself. But Sonia might say something different. She may do it in a different way. Every time I go to one of these things, I know everything that they're saying, but they may say it in a different way. I always learn something. I always learn, and it also gives you more confidence. And when you go to these things and you hear other people's testimonies, the more testimonies you hear, the more passionate you become about this product, about this company, and the more financial testimonies that you hear, you become more passionate about what you're doing. So when you go to these things, you may say, oh, well, I don't need training. I already know. All they're going to do this week is they're going to train on the comp plan. Well, you know what? When you have 5 ambassadors on your team, you're going to need to explain the comp plan.
Exactly.
And you are going to learn that, and you're going to hear it. And the more times that you hear it, the more comfortable you're going to feel, even if it's just one-on-one.
Right.
Even if you have, you know, you go to an opportunity meeting, and you're going to feel more comfortable sharing it with your neighbor when they ask you what's Plexus. You've already gone to 10 opportunity meetings, and so you're going to be able to explain that a lot better than if you wouldn't have gone to those meetings.
Right. I love how just a minute ago when you said, when you decided to go all in, because I think that there is a moment in your Plexus journey when, you know, it's that defining moment. But for me, it took me almost a year to go all in. And when I say all in, I mean, I was all in. And, you know, a lot of people, and this was me, just like Jana said, it's your own journey. The whole first year of my Plexus journey, Jana will tell you that I was not all in. I was not, I was excited to be in Plexus. I was excited to be losing weight. I was excited to have a team, and to be growing, but I was never all in. Don't you think, Jana? I was never like, yes, I live it. I breathe it. I spit it. My breath is pink. I'm all in, that kind of person. I was never that way. But then when I went to convention, and when you're sitting there and that giant curtain dropped and those violins started playing and everybody started cheering, it was that moment that something clicked in my head and it turned over and said, oh my gosh, this is it. This is it. If I don't get in this now and run with it as hard as I can, I'm going to regret it. And I was all in from that point on. Since last summer, the last week of May last year, I have been all in. And when I say all in, I mean my phone is literally in my hand or within grabbing distance from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And that's no joke. I mean, and I don't expect everybody else to work as much as I do like that. But I mean, my eyes open, I grab my phone and I immediately go to Facebook because I need to see, are there any customers that need help? Are there any ambassadors need help that have questions? What are my points at? What are my ambassadors at? I mean, and sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night because I got to write stuff down because something's come to me in the middle of the night. And I'm like, okay, I got to post about this week in my team, or I got to post, this has got to be a post coming up. I've got to do that. At some point it's going to click and you're going to go all in, and you just take off at that point. And it does require sacrifice. Like you were saying, it does require some sacrifice on your side. There are some things, you may not get to do. Like my husband, he'll say, did you see what so-and-so posted on Facebook? And I'm like, no. And he goes, you're always on Facebook. How do you not see that? I said, I'm always on Facebook, but I'm not scrolling Facebook at people's posts. I'm helping people on Facebook or answering questions or posting in my own group, So it's different. It's like what you were talking about, income producing activities. You can be on Facebook and actually working towards earning money, or you can be on Facebook and just scrolling through to see what so-and-so is having for lunch, or their dog went to the groomer, or whatever, crazy things people post about. You just never know. Or who's had their pink drink for today. But, so I think that's really interesting that, it does require some work to get to that point. If you really want to get to Diamond, or you want to make it to Jewel, that's your goal to get there. It is going to take some work. It's going to require you to work and make some sacrifices, but it's all worth it. Like you said, like Eric Worre said, it's only for a short time. If you work hard for 90 days, see how far and how hard you can go for 90 days and see where you are at the end of that 90 days. It's pretty impressive.
Shannon, that takes passion. That takes passion to get to that point that you're talking about where you're all in.
Yes.
That takes passion. You have to be passionate about what you're doing to get to that point. And you can be all in with a full-time job. I see it all the time. I mean, we have people on our team that have full-time jobs and they love what they do, but they still are all in with Plexus. And so when they're going to the bathroom or they're going to lunch, they're spending it with Plexus people, either in chats with Plexus people, or they're thinking about what they're going to post later, or they're talking to people at work about it.
Or they're getting up an hour earlier, in the morning before they go to work.
Right. And if you want to go all the way with Plexus, it does take hard work, but it also takes passion, because you're not going to want to work that hard unless you're passionate about it.
Yeah, you got to be passionate.
Get that passion. If you're sitting here saying, I really want the income of an emerald or diamond. I really want that income. I really want that, Lexus, I really want to go all the way with this, but I don't feel passionate enough about it to go all in, then what you need to do is you need to go to events. You need to go to things where you can be around other passionate ambassadors that are passionate already. You need to read network marketing books, because I guarantee you, if you start reading network marketing books like Rock Your Network Marketing Business, Go Pro, all the different ones that we always suggest that you read, if you start reading those things, first you're going to get passionate about network marketing. And you're going to sit there and think, what in the world is everyone not doing this? Because
why did I wait 40 years to do this?
It's like it's like you have this vault of money, and you're like, all you got to do is open it, and all these people, nobody believes that it can happen, but we know that it can happen.
Absolutely.
You're just like, why? You can't figure out, why is everyone not doing this? Why is everybody not passionate about it? And on top of that, we have a great company that has great products that sell themselves. On top of that, so we don't even have to work as hard as other companies do, because we don't have to have an inventory. We don't have to have, I mean, if that doesn't make you passionate, I don't know what will.
I know, right?
So if you start reading the network marketing books, and you start watching these videos by Sarah Marvel and Sonia Dudley, and the different ones that you can watch videos, and you be on calls like this, you know, eventually, if you continue feeding your mind and your eyes and your ears with that stuff, you will become passionate, because you're going to see that it's changing lives. You're going to see that it provides all the freedom you could ever imagine in your entire life. If you like freedom, you need to get passionate about this, because this will provide you with any kind of freedom that you possibly could want. Freedom.
Jana Garcia is getting to preach on.
That's right. So get passionate. Do whatever you have to do to get passionate, because that will get you success.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You'll want to work hard when you're passionate.
You do, and that's when the same thing happened when after convention last year, I came home, and man, I was passionate about it. I'm like, I am going to do this. I don't care what it takes. I am going to get to Emerald. I'm going to earn that trip to Maui. I'm going to get that Lexus. I am going to be in that Jules group if it's the last thing I do. You know, and I just did. I put my head down, put the blinders on, and put my nose to the grind and said, I'm going to do this. And there's not anybody going to tell me I can't do it, because I'll just show you. I'll wave at you from behind. Hello, folks. I'm up here. You back there, because I'm working my tail off to get up here. So not that I'm great or I'm so wonderful, but if you're working your tail off and you're putting your nose to the grind and doing the work and you're passionate about it, it's going to happen. There's no way it can't happen, because you are being consistent and you are passionate about what you're doing. It's going to happen, you know, but, and that kind of leads into my next, you know, topic, is that I was going to say, you know, there's hills and valleys, you know, with network marketing. Sometimes you're up like this, and then sometimes you kind of go down and there's a little valley, you know, and it kind of levels out for a little bit, but then, you know, and then it comes back up. You know, and especially with the type of market that we're in, the weight loss market, a health market, January and February are always big months, because it's the first of the year, and, you know, everybody's wanting to get healthy. So, you know, there's always going to be that hills and valleys. So talk a little bit, it's always easy being up on those hills, because you're up high and you're excited and it's, you know, wonderful. But what about go into those valleys and it's a little bit of a plateau, and you're kind of, maybe your PV's been real high, but then you've kind of converted some of your customers into ambassadors, and so your commission's kind of gotten a little lower, but you're adding ambassadors to your team and your team is growing. So maybe your pay kind of levels out for a few months. That's what mine did last summer when I was in that transition, going from having a huge customer base to converting some of those and then moving into building a bigger team. My income kind of like leveled out a little bit for a few months, but then as my team started growing, it started up on the rise again. So talk a little bit how do you get through those valleys, those little plateaus, those, you know, what do you need to do to get through those things? And you kind of talked a little bit about it with the books and the videos, but kind of expand on that. when you're in that valley and everything seems kind of flat, what do you do to get through that?
Well, that's going back to the same thing about when you're getting passion. You've lost your passion a little bit at times like that. And we all go through it. It happens. But one of the things a lot of people ask me, what do you think the one thing that you can attribute the success that you've had with Plexus, what do you think it is? And, my first, I always say consistency for one thing, but also a big part of it is relationships.
Right.
And, nobody can do this business alone. I don't know about other network marketing companies, but with Plexus, I know for a fact that you cannot do this business alone.
Right.
So, that's why we have gone through so much effort in trying to, there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of different things that you can be involved in. Being the chat. Yeah, definitely the chat. And, I will say that I have seen people in chats that were very discouraged, and all it took was for a few words from other people to get them back to their passionate self that they were.
Yeah.
And so, put yourself around other passionate people that are succeeding, for one thing. Right. And, I don't think either one of us could have done it without each other.
No.
It's just a matter of, there's times where there's times where you've vented to me and I'm like, yeah, what are you all down about? And then same thing happened a few weeks later where I'm doing it and you're the same thing. And it's funny because usually when you have a partner like that, when you're up, they're down, or they're up, you're down.
Right.
Usually, because we're up most of the time. I mean, it's obvious we get paid really good money. We're working from home. We have freedom like crazy. And, we're making our own hours and it's fun. I mean, if you don't find this fun, then you need to go and either educate yourself on it more or something. But I mean, it's a blast. It's the most fun thing I've ever done ever. So like most of the time we're up. So when one of us does have a downtime, the other one's bringing us back up, bringing the other one back up. And so it's so important to have a partner like that. Yeah. Or at least a group chat where you can go in and get motivation and encouragement, because most of the time we're in there, we're talking about different things that we're doing, and it can bring you right back up when when you're down.
And I would say a big part of that too is when you're down in a level like that, when you get into a valley, sometimes it's easy to kind of take yourself out and back up a little bit, and then you kind of get quiet. Because, you're not sure, did I do something wrong? Am I just completely sucking at this? I mean, those are all things that have gone through my head. But I would really encourage people to don't sink back, don't sit back and just think that you did something wrong. If you need encouragement, go to someone and say, hey, I'm having a rough day. I really need you to pump me up, or, and if you don't have someone like that, let me know. I will find you someone to have a partner like that, because we have several leaders on our team. Jana has tons of leaders on her team. If you feel like you're in that place where you're lonely and you're all by yourself, let us know, because we don't ever want anybody to feel like you're alone in this business, because you're not. So, I highly encourage you to contact one of us if you feel like you're in that place, so we can get you someone to partner up with and, have fun with. And that's part of it, is being in relationships and being with people, that you can talk to on a day in and day out basis. And those chats, I know people are like, oh, those chats, they drive me crazy. But, a lot of time people do chat a lot, but I think that's part of the business, is building relationships with people, experiencing the ups and downs with each other. I may have a high, you may have a low, but experiencing that with each other and encouraging each other through that really is what gets you through those times in business, I think.
Yeah. And it creates lifetime friendships, and so, you may feel like you're spending some time in a chat group, but, those friendships that you form in those chat groups are amazing. I mean, a lot of times I'll hear the jewels, talk about how, they're the best things they've gotten out of Plexus. And mind you, these women are making, 6 figures a year. And they always say it's the friendships, it's the friendships and the relationships is what really, they love the most about Plexus.
Right.
And it's so true because, you are having so much fun with these people, and then you get to see them several times a year, at the events. And it's just it's an amazing thing, but it is what keeps you going. It keeps you going in the good times, and it keeps you going in the not so good times.
Right. And that kind of leads me into, we talked about the business side of it, and that experience. And so now I want to talk a little bit about the fun side of being in Plexus. And, when you commit to being in Plexus, our company, I think, is probably top of the line when it comes to rewarding its ambassadors for hard work and ranking up. They recognize people when they rank up, every month to, silver, gold, senior gold. They send out the recognition letters and the award certificates. I think that's phenomenal. And then they also give us the opportunity to earn different things for convention. And they also give us the opportunity to earn the leadership retreat in the fall, which everyone is able to earn the retreat. I mean, if you work hard and put your mind to it, everybody can earn that. I know you can. But I know with Jana, I remember her getting her first Lexus, and I thinking, man, that's crazy. I can't believe she just got a free Lexus. that's crazy. And then this past week I went and got mine. And, it was like the furthest thing that, I never thought that I would ever get there. At one point I was like, oh my gosh. And I mean, even as early back as when I hit Ruby, and you have to have 500 points to hit Ruby. I remember talking to Adam and saying, okay, all I have to do now is triple my points. I was like, triple my points? Oh my gosh. But I mean, it happened, and it happened fairly quickly, so it's definitely possible to do it. But tell us a little bit about, because I haven't gone yet. I just earned the trip to Maui, but tell us a little bit about that trip to Maui last year. Like, what kind of treatment do you get when you're there? Like, what's it like to go there on Plexus's book?
Well, I had never been to Hawaii before. It was always on my bucket list of things to do. And the crazy thing about it was that I had always wanted to go for our 25th wedding anniversary.
Right.
And never in a million years did I think that would be possible because it's so expensive.
Right.
And so, obviously we couldn't save money for that. We have 4 kids. Who saves money when you have 4 kids,
right? Right.
So, I didn't think it was possible. But when I realized that, and I turned Emerald in November of that year before, when I realized I was going to be able to go to Maui.
Right.
And it just so happened to fall on the month that was our 25th wedding anniversary.
That's awesome.
So, that right there, I knew it was all meant to be, that was God's plan and God's gift for us, but it was a really cool thing. And Plexus does all their events to the top, Maui is a dream place to go. It's, it's better than I ever could have imagined. It's better than you can even describe to people or show pictures. It doesn't do it justice.
Right.
But all the trips with Plexus are fun like that.
Right.
I can't say that I'm looking forward to Maui any more than I'm looking forward to convention, because I'm just as excited about convention, maybe even a little more so, because I get to see the whole team rather than
and there's so many people there. Yeah, your whole team's there.
That tells you right there that it's about relationships, because if I'm looking forward to going to Phoenix, Arizona, just as much as I'm looking forward to going to Maui, that tells you right there that it's about relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everything that they do is just outrageous. And every day that you're there, we stay in a fabulous resort. Every day that you're there, they drop off a gift to all the jewels. That is really a cool thing. You walk into your room and you're going to have it's all anticipation. Everybody's
so exciting.
There's a basket waiting when you get there with lots of really neat stuff in it.
Wow.
They have a welcome reception where there's a big, huge ice sculpture, and they're taking professional pictures it's right by the beach, so you can see the water from the place that they're having the reception.
Right.
They have this big spread of food. They had a big breakfast for us one morning that was fabulous, and then they had a luau, and they had like professional people coming in there. They had another, more ice sculptures that day, and they had fireworks afterwards that said Plexus and the fireworks, and
Wow.
people taking pictures the whole time. And the cool thing is that our CEOs are there, and they're at every single event, and they're there walking around, and they're talking to everyone. They do that, anywhere, not even just with the jewels, but they do that at convention, and they do that at leaders retreat. And you'll see them taking pictures with people that are not even silver yet,
Right.
and they don't care. They're just happy that many people are there, and they're so patient. I always think, wow, all these women want to take pictures.
I
think
know,
they get tired of talking to people, but they're still so sweet. No matter how many pictures they have to take, they're still so sweet. But just being there and being around other people, it's going to help your business, Shannon. When you go to Maui, you're going to be around all the other jewels, and you're going to be surprised at how much Plexus talk, and you're going to learn from them, and they're going to learn from you. And you're going to have so much conversation. I know you said you're not going to talk Plexus, but you will talk Plexus while you're there. And,
I will.
Yeah, and it's awesome because being around other people, other ambassadors, just like we said before, anytime you're around other ambassadors, you get pumped up, and the Maui trip is no different. But it's, like I said, it's all about relationships. You're all excited to see the people that you saw the year before. But they treat us great at whatever event it is. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing company. And what I was going to say too is that, we were friends before Plexus, and Candy and us, we were all three friends before Plexus. A lot of us were friends before Plexus. And the fact that so many of us were friends before Plexus, and we were all just normal people. None of us were like business women. None of us brought teams from other places, but yet we're all driving Lexuses. That tells you right there that anyone can do this.
Absolutely.
You do not have to have, 1,000 Facebook friends, because I didn't. I had 300 when I started.
Right. I think I had about the same.
Yeah. And you were very quiet. Like I said, you didn't want to talk to me on the phone.
I didn't, never.
But, we were all stay-at-home moms, all three of us. And not just us. I mean, I'm only saying that because that's who we were all friends first. But, a lot of the jewels were stay-at-home moms. Not very many of us had, business degrees and things that we could take from that. But that's the great thing about this, is that it provides a normal person that not even social, like they don't even have to leave their house. It provides someone like that with an opportunity to make money that only doctors make.
Right.
And if that doesn't excite you, what does? Because that's just unbelievable to me. It's still unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
And it makes me want everyone around me to do it too, because it's like, if I can do it, you can certainly do it.
Absolutely.
And then we've done a lot of the groundwork for you with all the training and the different things that we've done since we started. It makes it a lot easier. I mean, I always picture myself coming onto a situation like this, to where, even in your group, to come onto your group, and you already have all those files, and you already have team calls, and you already have things that people don't have to reinvent. They can just go on and all they have to do is duplicate.
Right.
I mean, if you can duplicate, you can do this.
Right.
And so you don't have to go create a training 101 group. You don't even have to have weekly calls, because they're done for you.
Right.
So, it's just amazing what you can do with somebody who doesn't come into it with, with all the tools they need.
Right. Right. Exactly. I want to go back to you were talking about the leaders of our company, Tarl and Alec, and Jana last year at Leaders Retreat. She had won the Bloomingdale's shopping trip, and I got to go as her guest when we were there, which was a phenomenal experience.
That was payback for the polar plunge.
Right. Yes, exactly. I got to go because I did the polar plunge. But when we were there, we were shopping, of course, and so we were a little late because we were shopping to go to the lunch, because they were provided lunch. So we were kind of the last ones to get there to eat lunch. But as it turned out, it was pretty awesome because we sat down, and then Tarl came over and sat down next to me. And I'm telling you, I about passed out because I looked at Jana and I was like, we need to trade seats. Do you remember that? I looked at you and I said, we need to trade seats because I don't know what I'm going to say to him. I was scared stiff in my seat. I was like, but you know, they are both so personable. Meeting Tarl, he absolutely just sat there and he talked to me about where I was in my Plexus journey. And, you know, at that point I was, Ruby. No, I hadn't hit Ruby yet. I think I hit Ruby at the end of October. I was senior gold, and I told him that I was going to get senior Ruby by the end of the year. And I did. I got to senior Ruby by the end of the year. And, you know, that's pretty phenomenal. You know, and then in the fall when I won the Silver Stars trip and I got to go and we had dinner with Alec, again, the most personable people you will ever meet. And they will sit and talk to you and listen to your story like you are their best friend. And I'm telling you, even that taught me so much to really listen to people when they're talking to me and not, you know, not talk at people, but talk to people, you know. And one of Alex's sayings is, if you're blessed, be a blessing. When he said that, that was phenomenal to me because I really believe he believes that in his heart, and that's not just something he's saying or just, it's not just words to him. He really means that, and he really wants that to come across to the ambassadors in our company. You know, we are blessed, so it's our job to be a blessing. And maybe that blessing is just encouraging your customers or encouraging your ambassadors. That's part of being a blessing every day. It doesn't always have to be a monetary blessing. It can be, you know, a relational blessing or, you know, a friendship blessing as well. So, but anyways, that's really all the questions I had. So if somebody has a question, you can type it into the questions, the Q&A down there at the bottom, and I will look at it and we will ask Jana a question. We've got about 10 minutes that we can answer some questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and post it there, and then I will ask her. In the meantime,
while they're doing that, you know, on the Bloomingdale's thing, you know, I was so impressed that both of them were there for the whole day. And
right.
it's like, what men, you know, they probably didn't want to be at Bloomingdale's with all them women.
Right.
You could tell, I mean, can you tell that they just had pure joy watching us go crazy spending that money?
Right.
Absolutely. They walked around and they asked every person there what they bought.
Yes, they did. They did. They were like, what did you buy? What are you getting? You're getting a suitcase? Yes, because I need a suitcase to put everything I just bought in to ship it home. Jana, that was like, she was like, I got to get a suitcase to put all this stuff in to ship it home. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question from Victoria. She's asking, how can I get access to Training 101? I have been added to several Facebook groups, but I don't remember that. Is it a Facebook group? Yes, it is a Facebook group, Victoria. You can message me or message Jana, and we can make sure that you are in that Training 101 group. It's open to anyone in Jana's downline. So if you're on this call, then you are in Jana's downline. So just message Jana or I, and we will make sure that you get put into that group. Let me see if there's anyone else have a question. You're welcome, Victoria.
And I would say too on that, that's a really good question. Making sure that you're in all the groups, and you know, while you're working, if you're at the point where you're working on your passion,
right,
that's a really good time to educate yourself. And there's a lot of ways to do that. You know, obviously we don't have to know everything about everything to do this business, but the more you know, the more you'll grow for sure. And if you can spend time reading the Training 101, I would say to read that, you know, every few months, no matter where you are in your journey, and make sure that you're doing all that. You know, I have people have asked me, you know, I'm struggling. You don't have as high of PV, and I'll say go back to the Training 101, read all that, see if you're doing everything that it says to do in that group. Are you posting every day? Are you passionate? Are you sharing
Right.
your story? Are you sharing your story, not just other people's story? Are
Right.
you working on yourself, like Shannon said? Are you working on furthering yourself by reading books and stuff like that? But your back office is such a good place to learn and to educate yourself. And that is a true place for passion to start, because you can find testimonies back there. You can find frequently asked questions on the products, on the ingredients, on different things that a customer might ask you. And if if you're trying to figure out ways, what can I do during my income producing work hours that go and educate yourself, learn as much as you can about the products and about the company and about network marketing, and plugging into groups and Shannon's group or Rockin' group or wherever you can. The plugging in part, people I don't think understand how important it is to plug into groups, chats and groups, whatever groups, team groups you're in, the more stuff that you can help with or ask or do in those groups, encouraging and welcoming people in, all that is so beneficial to your passion.
Right.
And that will just feed your passion the more that you interact with other people, whether that's online or in person.
Absolutely. Right. The next question we have is, what is our top 5 MLM books that we would recommend? My absolute favorite book is The New Era of Network Marketing by Dave Nelson. He is 27 years old, and so his perspective on it is a lot different than a lot of people's, because he's Generation X or Y, whatever you would call it. And so he has a kind of an interesting take on it, network marketing and a lot of big ideas and new ideas. He's also from Australia. So he has a little different ideas, because we're in the US, and so they do things a little different over there. And so it's nice to see different perspectives from someone else in another MLM in a different country, because they may have different perspectives than we have here in the US. And that's why I really like his book. Jana, what's your favorite? And of course, anything by Sarah Robbins is.
Well, I've only read her one, but Rock Your Network Marketing Business. If you're not hooked on network marketing in the first chapter, you got a ways to go. But if she will tell you it outright in the first. Maybe even in the foreword.
Right.
She talks about the benefits of network marketing, and she was a teacher, and she was a very young teacher when she got involved in network marketing, and so she talks so much about the benefits of it. And I like books like that, because a lot of the network marketing books out there are more about recruiting, and some of those are really good. You can get some good valuable things, but I like the ones that really tell you why it's good. Network marketing is so beneficial, and residual income and all that. I really like Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know how to say his last name, but he has a lot of really good books that are really good for business, to teach you more about your business and that kind of thing. Network marketing, passion, skills, that kind of thing. But probably I really like Big Al.
I love Big Al.
And one of the reasons,
Big Al.
And I think maybe one of the reasons why I really like him a lot is because he has a lot of books on audio, and not a lot of them do. A lot of those are reading books, and I'm the kind of person that if I can't listen to it, it's really hard for me to take the time to read something, because I'm so hands-on and relationship-based that if I have 10 minutes, I'm going to spend it talking to somebody rather than reading. So if I can listen to a book while I'm getting ready in the morning or taking a bath or whatever, if I can listen to a book, I'll get a whole lot more in. And Big Al has the most books on audio. So I've probably listened to more from him than I've read of any of them, but I do like him a lot, and I like Sarah Robbins.
Right. I like her too. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions we have. We've basically answered every question that anybody would ever have on this call. But anyways, we really appreciate you all taking the time to be on this call, because the only thing it can do is help you grow your business. And that's what Jana and I both want more than anything, is to have you guys doing calls like this yourselves for your own team. a year from now, that's what I expect, is that you'll be messaging us saying, hey, can you be a guest speaker on my call next year? Absolutely. You just give me a little ring, 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 and I'll be there, whatever you need me to do.
You like to talk on the phone now.
I like to talk on the phone now, and I like to be on the computer so everybody can see me. Really, I don't, but we do want to thank you, Jana, for being on the call. We really appreciate you taking the time. I know you work a lot of hours, and you also have a family, so
thanks for having me.
Yes, we're so glad. It's like I never talked to you ever.
No, I miss you.
But anyways, we are glad you all came and stopped by and had some evening chat with us. So anyways, we will be having another call next week.